NBA Straya, how are you going? Hey, good, you should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Sunday night and it's Mother's Day. I hope you've had a few tins, especially if you're a mum. You should be absolutely wasted right now on the couch telling like your partner, husband, de facto, toy boy, whatever. Just get the dishes done, get me some food, and then get over here and give mum a kiss. Go hammering songs. You should be yelling at the kids to pack up all their stuff. Absolutely all about you. So go absolutely hard in the paint if you are a mum today. That's right, it is Sunday, May 10. I'm your host, James Clemens, here in Larry Armour Studios for a big NBA Australia quick weekend wrap-up. That's what we do, because with the Saturday and Sunday, we've gotten all four of the game threes out of the road, and we have a very early start tomorrow. So may as well just go, right, let's signpost this and talk about those game threes, and then we can all move on with our lives. So we're going to do that. We're going to go through each series, all the games from Saturday through Sunday, then give away some awards, and then just pick and preview the two games tomorrow. I did want to talk about the draft lottery and like the sort of karma tankings, the karma rankings for tankings, right? But I don't know, there's so many weird, I'm so annoyed that it's at like a stupid hour of the day tomorrow that really just takes away like the awesome drama and like, basically being able to talk. Why is it on a Sunday? What are you idiots doing? How has the NBA gotten this so wrong? Anyway, so yeah, I'll do that quickly at the end. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. Episode 1401 of NBA Australia. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And 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 you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Australia.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better watch out for the mosh pit attack if you're your mate Jim, I'll tell you what. So today, Mother's Day was awesome. We treated old mate Brecky in bed. The trick is, I get the squids to basically make her up at like a hotel menu, right? And then, they do it in all their just chicken scrawl handwriting and stuff. They draw some pictures. It's really good. And then she gets to decide what she's going to get for Brecky in bed. The kids love it. She loves it. It goes down a treat. And also, I am apparently awesome at making French toast. So that's just what I land on, getting them to push her to eat. No, that was her choice. Smashed it today. That was good. But your mate Jim was also at Scarfighter 2 at the Bendigo Hotel in Collingwood last night, and then went to Deftones. At which point, as the show's starting, I'm like, yeah, I'm in the middle of the mosh pit. This is, for a bloke with a bung Achilles, this isn't ideal. And, I don't know, hung out there for like half the show. It was insane. That was so good. I think the thing that blew my mind, though, I wasn't quite I knew that it was going to be like that. But really, the sheer generational cross-section demographic blew my mind. The fact that the Deftones are big with the kids is awesome. But whoa, the same thing happened last week at Super Heaven. I'm like, this is great. The kids like the good stuff. So pretty stoked by that. Had a great time. Ran into a couple of NBA Australia listeners. So you guys, appreciate your guts. Hades, you're a legend. But yeah, I think Ben was there as well. So that was awesome. And yeah, just had a great night. Woke up a bit dusty today, but it's Mother's Day. You got to get the job done. And otherwise, good weekend. Tell you what, I'm a bit goose now. So you better watch out for the attack of the being aged, I guess, is where I got to. Anyway, let's start the show the way we start every show here in NBA Australia with some sort of, there it is. It's a whip around, isn't it, Jim? Yes. The latest, there's only little bits and bobs of news. Steve Kerr is sticking around for at least 2 more years, signed an extension after pretty elongated set of, negotiations. He's still the highest paid coach in the league. That's smart. Good on him. Make that money, Stephen. I can only imagine most of the negotiations came down to him going, can we fucking trade Draymond this offseason? I'm fucking sick of this dickhead. They're like, yeah, we're going to trade him. He's like, sick, 2 more years. I'm in. I'll go out when Steph goes out. Boom. But fucking Draymond, I can't deal with that anymore. I'm getting too old for this shit. So, yeah. The Draymond saga continues. God, that guy's dumb. Oh, hey, man, when I was talking about Chuck in Houston, I only meant the last 2 years, obviously. It's like, what the Draymond, you're a fucking idiot. Dig up, stupid. But he's too dumb to know which way he's digging. So, yes, he'll continue doubling down. It's like, no, actually, I'm smarter than all of you. This is actually what I meant. That's not what you said, is it? You fucking moron. So, shut up. Anyway. Really, and there's kind of like a little bit of other bit where it's like the Warriors are going to try to, extend Steph now as well, maybe. Giannis, he wants to be traded to an Eastern Conference title contender, and he wants to choose his team. Basically, he'll probably try his hardest to end up in Miami. I don't know. Whatever. I would love him on Chicago. I reckon that'd be fun. Anyway, that's basically it. There wasn't really much else sort of going on. And the 4 games we got were pretty bloody good. So let's just do that and talk about the games. In the game wraps. If you cast your mind back to yesterday, the Knickerbockers and the Sixers. This series has been really interesting, really fun. So Embiid plays in this game. And you're like, this is a very, very, very fun vibe that they've got in Philly. They're trying to make sure that Knicks fans can't get there. There's fun stories about them buying out the train tickets so they can't get home from Philly, which is hilarious. And the Knicks are up 3-0 anyway. Just none of it mattered. Especially because same sort of thing we've seen in a couple of these games already. They just run out of gas in these second halves, do these Sixers. And this is without OG Anunoby playing for the Knicks. He's, out resting that hammy, which is very smart. It's what I said before this game. You just try to steal game 3, then we're up 3-0, and you can rest him the rest of the series. Who cares? But they just basically, defensively, I think the Knicks thing just, as it wears them down and wears them down and wears them down, the Sixers keep getting to the end of these games, and they're just like shooting blanks. There's just very little left in the tank. Brunson was fantastic in that one as well. And you sort of get to the end of this game and you're like, wow, they really didn't need OG, did they? It was awesome. Shamwow's knocking in shots. Former Sixer himself. Bit of revenge. Ends up with 15. Mitch Robinson went 4 of 8 at the line. It was good to hear Stan Van Gundy be like, all he's got to do is hit 1 of 2. It's like, maybe. But he was fine. Bridges had 23. And you sort of thought this would be a really good cat game without OG there. He ended up with an 8, 12, and 7 and was just kind of fine. But, I mean, they went 9 of 27 from 3. They got to the line a lot, double the amount of time as the Sixers. But the 33 from Brunson is just the absolute difference, right? 9 assists. He was absolutely awesome. And you're watching, like, Embiid try to do stuff. And he ends up shooting 7 of 17. 0 of 4 from 3, and I feel like none of those threes look like they're going anywhere near close to going in. It's like me on the Brunswick Blacktops today with the squids. Just my shoulder's rooted. Anyway, VJ, same sort of thing, right? 11 points, 4 and 9. He went 1 of 5 from 3. Maxey was sort of threatening early, but then just, again, ran out of gas. Oubre had 22. Paul George started off on fire, then could not buy a bucket the rest of the game. 6 of 18 in the end for 15 points. It was brutal. And this is the problem. They then go to their bench and they're playing 7 dudes, right? With 7.05 if you want to count the 4 minutes of Andre Drummond. Because they're throwing Q Grimes on there. He's not doing too much. You got Don Barlow. That's kind of neat. But again, Sixers fans, I don't know. It'd be kind of nice to have like a TikTok dancing, great haired, like Energizer Bunny who was going to probably win the Rookie of the Year 2 years ago. But it's okay. You sold high on him and got the worst first round pick imaginable and 3 second rounders for him. So that'll definitely keep you warm at night. 0-3 down in a series where you probably could have definitely have used Jared McCain. But it's okay. Daryl Morey's he's smarter than all of us. He's never won anything, but he's smarter than all of us. So it's okay, remember. But anyway, this has just been complete domination by the Knicks. The way they just inexorably ran over the top of the Sixers, you kind of knew it was coming. And the Sixers are throwing all these punches. And the way that the Knicks just sort of took it all and in the second quarter went, that's cute. Now we're going to take the lead and we're going to roll straight through you. They looked fantastic. And if they can get the Sixers done early, and if they can pull off this sweep, God, I think that'll be beneficial for them, right? Like, because it feels like Detroit-Cleveland is going to be a little bit of a longer series. It's already 2-1. But the way that the Knicks, with OG already out, if you get this done quick, you guys are getting to rest up and then wait for an Eastern Conference Finals. It's going to be awesome. But anyway, a bit of a tough one for the Sixers. PEDP just doesn't quite have it. It was really weird watching that sort of like how good he was to start that game and just how bad he was the rest of the game. And you're like, this is like, they don't have OG. Like you and Maxey should be carving it up when it's like Bridges and Deuce McBride, right? And there was very little they could do. And even with Embiid, he just doesn't look right. And here we are. It's another Sixers postseason. The really cool thing was that they, celebrated beating the Celtics like they'd won the title, but they'd gotten through the first round. So that's awesome. To be honest, though, I'm not going to bag anybody ever for celebrating a series win, but yeah, Philly, they went a little bit over the top. Anyway, that's 3-0. Knicks are up. I'm feeling pretty good about this because I will be in New York while the Eastern Conference Finals are on. And I think I said this the other day, right? It is awesome in New York when one of their teams is in the playoffs. If it's the Rangers, every bar is packed. It's going absolutely crazy. If it's the Mets, we were there for the World Series run that they went on, lost to Kansas City in the end, but that was electric. The Yankees haven't actually been that good for a while now. They weren't that good when we were living there specifically, but like even when the Nets were in the playoffs, there was like a hint of it. But when the Knicks are in the playoffs, I think they're only in the playoffs like a couple of times while we lived over there, but it was absolutely off its head. So I'm very excited. So that's going to be good. So yeah, go Knicks. So I'm going to go to one Eastern Conference Finals game. I don't think I'll go to one in New York because it'll just cost too much. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. Anyway, the other game yesterday, Spurs-Wolves. This one was a ripper. Spurs just, it's kind of not like they mowed them down, but they just end up winning the arm wrestle. And this series is so good. Just so good. I'm like watching this one as Wemby's going off his bloody head. And you're sort of watching how the game is sort of, I don't know, just getting to these peaks and troughs of this game are just absolutely awesome. And like Wemby, I'm going to talk about him at length in a second, but I think there was a quote after that they said, it's actually kind of good playing on the road because the opposition fans, you have like, the opposition team, you're in this, the opposition's building, all this sort of stuff, and it narrows your focus. Like this is all you got to worry about. You just got to go in there and beat them. And that's awesome. And the Spurs did that. We're back to 2-1 in this series. Like Ant-Man was absolutely off his head. He was so good. And then it just a little bit, 32-14. Naz has 18-9. And, I mean, if they can get this to 2-2, Wolves will be feeling pretty good. But there was like that moment when Wemby had his fifth foul. And you're like, look out. Jeez. Here come the Wolves. But then they sort of never gave up the ghost. It was a really strange one. They never got up by more than 10. I don't think they even got up by 10. But they never sort of dipped out and sort of blew it. And they just kept the Wolves at arm's length just enough. Like when they basically got it right there, and it was like 1-0, what was it, 102, 100 or whatever. I think I had that in my notes. And you're just sort of sitting there going, oh, Lord, are they going to do it? And then you sort of turn around and it's like 106, 100 after that big Wemby bucket that was just quieted the crowd, right? And Minnesota just sort of couldn't score down the stretch. For the back half of that fourth quarter, they scored, I think, it was like 102, as it was, right? 102, 100. It ends up 115, 108. And when you're that close and you can't get over the hump, this is our big thing on NBA Australia. It's like almost impossible to get it right back. It was like 69-68 as well, I think, in the third quarter, but the Wolves never led in the second half, despite it being that good. And this is what happens, though. They spotted them, that 15-1 lead or 14-1 lead? It was crazy to start this game. Anyway, but this is the Spurs. Like, when they're focused, they look terrifying. They've got like a T-Rex in the middle and he's surrounded by a bunch of velociraptors. It's not even the T-Rex. It's one of those weird mutant ones that they made in the later Jurassic Park movies where it's like, we've combined a T-Rex and a velociraptor and a Spinosaurus and look at this fucking thing. And it's like Wemby. And you're like, Jesus. Yep, that'll do, pig. But look, Wolves kept punching and I kind of like... I don't think they'd have a chance at beating OKC. I don't even know if the Spurs would, but I feel like the Spurs will give them a little bit more of a run for their money. But we did get like Ant-Man with his 32, 14, and 6. Awesome game. McDaniels, he shot 5 of 22. That was the problem. 3 of 12 for Randall. You got 4 of 12 for Ayo! And Terrence Shannon Jr. back to the bench. He had 5 points and 2 of 6 shooting. And that was the big difference, right? They shot 38% from the floor, the Wolves, at home, when your role players are hopefully going to just give you that little bit more. On this particular occasion, they did not. 12 turnovers to 9. It was like fine. It was just a bit of a weird, awesome, grind it out arm wrestle of a game 3, and I kind of loved it. And then for the Spurs, obviously, you got the 39, 15, and 1 with 5 blocks for Wemby, which is just stupid. But really, like, it was like Keldon Johnson throwing an 11. You had Fox had 17. He shot 7 of 19, but I feel like he was really important, especially early, sort of settling them down, getting him into the groove. And really, I feel like he's sizing up a bit of this Wolves defense every sort of so often. You want that little bit more from him, though. Especially at that price point. But anyway, Champagne hit a couple of threes. You got a couple of threes out of Carter Bryant. He was really good for his 8 minutes. And Dylan Harper, 8, 4, and 1 as well. But they just sort of, again, when you got Wemby, the T-Rex, and then surrounding with Velociraptors, you go up 2-1. Good win by the Spurs. And I guess I do love it. It's like, they've figured out how to like guard Wemby. And then like 2 minutes later, like bloke's got 39 and 15 and 5 blocks. But I love watching like the defense, like just watch the Spurs and watch their defense and like watch what Wemby is doing. I love it. There is nothing more fun. He was a plus 16 in 37 minutes. He was absolutely awesome. And like the way that they've sort of readjusted to what the Wolves threw at them in game 1, where Gobert had 13 and 7 in this game, looked pretty good at times, but there's still just moments where just no one can hang with Wemby. And I feel like Wemby's remembered that. And yeah, he went 3 of 5 from deep as well. He shot 13 of 18. Again, I said, taking the piss. So crazy game. Good win for the Spurs to wrest back home court advantage. 2-1 Spurs. Then today we had 2 absolute flip, I guess, in the first game, and then whereas like a reverse of like the prior matchup between the two. And then the second game was just a carbon copy of the previous matchup between the two. So Cleveland get a win over the Detroit basketballing Pistons because James Harden was good in the clutch. I know. What the hell was that? I mean, I'm more shocked than you.
What was that? What the hell was that?
9 points in the fourth quarter, just like bang, bang, bang. They're just absolutely amazing down the stretch. And you're like, that's pretty good. He only finished with 19 points, so he scores the vast majority of his points in this spot. And he was really, really, really good. Like, Donnie Mitchell was fantastic. Detroit had come all the way back in this game as well. They were getting their asses kicked in. And you're like, Jesus, what's going to happen here? And so as I'm watching, I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening here? Detroit have fought and fought and fought. But the step back that Harden hit, like with a minute and a bit to go, put them back up 5. That was huge. And then Cade has that sick dunk. Harden gets in, hits the floater, and away, and it just sort of kept going. And the big one was the 3 with like, it was basically the dagger, right? They put them back up 5 again, and you're like, oh shit, that was a good shot. And this is it. It's sort of going the way this series is. So 116-109, they end up winning Cleveland. That's right.
Cleveland!
And I don't know. I wonder if this goes sort of the way that the Toronto-Cleveland series went, where the Cavs win the first 2 games, Toronto sort of figure out what they're meant to be doing in games 3 and 4, and then we just keep going back and forth. Detroit, though, like their offense falling off a cliff in the second quarter was the only thing that really fucked them in this game, because then their offense woke back up, their defense kicked their ass in the third quarter, dragged them back into the game, and then you're like fucking on for young and old. And yeah, randomly, James Harden was the difference in this game. That's good. The thing is, on balance, like you can go, hey man, that'll quiet them all down. It's like, no. It doesn't erase how shit you were in the other games, James Harden. This was very good though, so we're all very proud of you. For the Pistons, you got 21 from the never new Tobias Harris. You got a 27, 10, and 10, but with 8 turnovers from Cade. He was still at +6 in 39 minutes. Considering they lost by 7, that's pretty fucking good. Orsar had 9 on 10 shots. And this is the big problem. Like, you got Basketball Paul out there. He had 11 and 3. Awesome stuff in his 10 minutes. Durant only had 11 and 4. 15 for Duncan Robinson. Very nice. Very nice. But yeah, with Orsar struggling, my sweet baby Carrots going, 6 on 5? Yeah, 6 on 6 shots. Dennis Jenkins shooting 1 of 5. That lack of sort of extra punch off the bench where, 4 of 16 between Javonte Green, Karras, and Dennis Jenkins. Just a bit brutal, right? 9 of 25 all over from downtown. And when the other team goes 12 of 32 and shoots 58% from the floor, yeah, you got a problem. Because go the throw, Jared Allen. Another really good game for him. 18 and 4 with a couple of blocks. 13, 8 and 4 for Mobley. The 19, 7 for Harden. But Donnie Mitchell was immense. 35, 10 and 4. Kicked some ass, took some names. They got 11 from Schroeder off the bench as well. He was like a really interesting change of pace at times. You're like, ooh, that's why they got Schroeder. I get it. Right? But the problem was, it's like, can you like actually get more than 2 games out of him in a series? Strus only hit 1 of his 4 threes. Merrill 1 of 3. Jalen Tyson 1 of 3. But they got just enough from that bench that Allen, Mobley, Harden, and Mitchell were super duper solid. So not bad. Good win for the Cavs. Got to appreciate that. Now we're 2-1. Going back to Cleveland. Going back to Texas. That'll be a really fun game. Game 4. Everything on the line when it's 2-1. And then today, so that was like basically the mirror image. So where it's all reversed, right? That's how mirrors kind of work. Then from game 2, where Harden was complete dog shit and the Pistons sort of pulled away late. This time it was Harden was good and the Cavs pulled away right back at the end. So good stuff. The other game today was just fucking Control-C, Control-V of game 2. How do you mean, Jim? Well, it was the same game. The Lakers shot the piss out of it early. OKC, like, that's cool. The Lakers led by 1 at halftime, same as in the other game. And then OKC fucking curb stomped them in the second half, and they got straight killed.
So he got straight killed.
It's the same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. A really strange game where the Lakers are like, oh man, we're really good. Rui Hachimura still had 21, 4, and 5. The greatest three-point shooter in the history of the NBA playoffs. He's been amazing. LeBron, 7 of 19 for his 19 points. You're like, this is it. We're into, basically a month into these, well, not even a month. We're like, 3 and bit weeks into these playoffs, and the 41-year-old who groans when he gets off the couch is, getting to a point. He had 19, 6, and 8. Still very, very good. But, yeah, it was rough when you've got, Austin Reeves not being able to really get much going. And without Luka, I mean, you're just so fucking hard up against it. Because, again, OKC, you're just like, hey, we have 400 million dudes who are really awesome at basketball on our team. And you're like, that seems unfair. And here we are. Because that was it. Austin Reeves goes for 17 points. He shot 5 of 13 and 1 of 5 from downtown. He had 5 turnovers as well. You got 18 from the Duckman, Luke Kennard. He went 4 of 6 from 3. They ended up going 14 of 30 overall, which is pretty bloody good. But unfortunately, they allowed the Thunder to go 17 of 38. So, yeah, that's pretty good too. They shot 56% from the floor, did the Thunder. And I think the big difference was the Lakers had a bloke named DeAndre Ayton out there. Much to their own chagrin. I'll get to that in a second. But this is it. Because I guess with that dearth of role players, or at least talent, when you don't have Luka in there, suddenly you're just running out of gas, and the second half gets so much fucking tougher when you're playing a really awesome young team like the Thunder, who can just go, oh, today Cason Wallace will score 16 points and hit 4 threes, and like you're fucked. And you're like, yep, that'll do, pig. Isaiah Joe, 12 points, 4 threes. You're like, Jesus Christ. Like those two dudes hit 8 threes between them. It's like, yeah. They got 24, 4, and 10 from AJ Mitchell. Jesus. You had the 18 and pretty sick block from Chet. I enjoyed that one. 18 and 9, 12 and 9 with a couple of assists for AJ Hartenstein. And of course, SGA, quite as you like, 23 points, 7 and 20 shooting, 9 assists, 2 turnovers, weapon. And they just put the pedal to the metal in the second half and blew them the fuck out again. It's hilarious how exactly the same it was to game 2. 131, 108. Thunder, 3-0 up on the Lakers. What a world. So it's kind of weird. We've got the 2 series that are 3-0, Knicks Sixers and Lakers Thunder. And then the other 2 series are 2-1. It sets up game 4s very, 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 very nicely because the 2-1 are obviously, we can tie the series. It's all on. And 3-0, you're just playing for fucking pride at that point. You got to get a win. You need to get the gentleman's sweep. You can't just get swept. You need the gentleman's sweep. So, yeah, love that. All right, how about an NBA Australia Pro Performance of the Weekend? Press the button, Jim.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
That would be the 7'40" French bloke. Victor Wembanyama, 39 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 blocks. He's only the 4th player ever since blocks basically became a stat, which I always find funny. It's like, what did that guy just do? He stopped that shot. Should we make that a statistic? They're like, no. But that guy caught it when they missed it. Yes, we have a stat for that. It's called a rebound. That seems important to keep track of. Well, what about the one where he just swatted that shot into the fucking crowd? It's like, nah. What about when he took the ball from him over there? Nah, we don't do stats. Anyway, basically, 35, 15, and 5 is Hakeem, Shaq, and Kareem. And now Wemby. That's an Andrew Gaze Graham Umber Award for Outstanding Achievement right there as well.
It's the first
Andrew Gaze Grey Mum.
And it should go straight to the pool room.
This is going straight to the pool room.
That is a hell of a game. He was so good. When he hit that shot late, it was absolutely massive. Like the turnaround fadeaway that put them back up, 109, 103. It was absolutely massive. It was just jaw-dropping shit. You're like, that was... Yeah, I think he's the guy. It was awesome. He scored or assisted on 18 of their 29 points in the 4th quarter. He was just fucking unreal. So, good job, Wemby. Honorable mention, Donnie Mitchell. He was unreal this morning too. Spud of the weekend.
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. Dominating. Now, this is one where if you're watching the game, you're like, what the fuck is he doing? JJ Redick's like, I can't play him. I've got to get him out of the game. he basically gave up a couple of offensive rebounds to the Thunder, and he's just as useless as tits on a bull. And he's just sort of as he's trying to get subbed out, he gives up an and one, and you're like, oh my fucking god, you giant fucking spud. He ends up with the 10 and the 6. He had 1 defensive rebound. So he had 6 rebounds, 5 of them were offensive. That's offensive to my sense of being, I guess. It was brutal to watch him. But anyway, so a couple of we mentioned the Spuds as well earlier in the other, the Philly game, which was just, yeah. I don't want to kick them while they're down. 6 of 18 for Paul George. PEDP. Needed to kick those PEDs back in. 7 of 17 for Joel Embiid. 7 of, Maxey 8 of 12. It was kind of weird that he didn't get to the free throw line. No calls. It was just a strange game for him. But, yeah. And then San Antonio and Minnesota. Obviously, the Wolves, we sort of rattled those off. But the thing in there was Stephon Castle. He ended up with 13 points, fucking 12 assists. And he shot. Oh, yeah! Chill! That's right, our man Stephon Castle shot 3-11. You beauty. Who's old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? Chris Finch and Tony Brothers. This is apparently the fight we didn't all know that we needed, but we do. It's awesome. Tony Brothers fucking hates that guy. Tony Brothers, the official. Chris Finch, the head coach of the Wolves. This is why you don't fuck with refs, I reckon, a lot of the time. But basically, Brothers tried to fuck him out a bit of a time in that game 3 against the Spurs. It was a pretty close game. And basically, he's standing there just ignoring him when he's calling a timeout. And Finch is like, I want my 3 seconds back. And Tony Brothers did not like that. Chased him to the huddle, have some words. Chased him again. Naz Reid had to hold him back. And then our man Finch goes in afterwards and is like, hey, man, he lost it. He absolutely lost it. I don't know what's going on. It's completely unprofessional behavior. I love it. Coach and ref beef? Hell yes. Serve this one up to me on a steaming platter because nothing gets the juices flowing than like a coach getting right up in a ref's face and like the ref going, yep, that's me. I guess you're wondering how I got here. It's because they've made some really fucking stupid calls. But I love a bit of argy-bargy between the coaches and the refs. That's fucking great. And for Chris Finch to come out, he lost it. He's completely unprofessional. I love that. Because you know what's going to happen with the Wolves now? Yeah, they're fucked in game 4. No calls. I can't believe the Lakers didn't get over the top of the Thunder today. And like we didn't get like Adam Silver pulling out the Adam Silver special and just like going absolutely hammering tongs on him and trying to get the Lakers over the line. Like a bit of a weird one. I mean, the Thunder only shot 10 free throws to the Lakers 25, but just wasn't enough. It needed to be 45. Pantsing of the night. This, every time I watch, like even Isaiah Joe, that's a man that Daryl Morey traded to save some luxury tax. And like every time the Thunder play, it's just a complete pantsing somehow for the Sixers. Because I'm telling you, if the Sixers just had Isaiah Joe and Jared McCain on their bench, I shudder to think about how much better they'd be. It's crazy. Crazy. So yeah, that's a bit of a pants. But again, I think it's just such a pantsing. Like you've also got Harden sort of pantsing the Pistons down the stretch, which is pretty funny. But it's kind of weird when you're sort of like watching this game, and I think the continual pantsing is OKC just going, yeah, that's cute. We'll let the Lakers stick around. We'll let them lead at the half. Then watch what we do. Pantsed. Fatty, fat, 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 fatty, fatty, fat, fat. Better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James and Bird. Simmons.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
coming for everybody. AJ Mitchell. 24 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals, shot 10 of 17 from the floor, 2 of 4 from deep, 2 of 3 at the line. Weapon. God, he's good. Like, it's kind of weird because the Thunder have like a bunch of AJ Mitchells. And by that I mean they've got like, they roll out Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, Jared McCain, AJ Mitchell. They've got a Wiggins in there. They've just got all their dudes. And Kenrick Williams gets out there. You're just like, dude, it's just unfair. They're all just very good at basketball. So I think many teams should probably try to take a leaf out of the Oklahoma City Thunder's book here and just like just have really good basketball players on their team. It seems like a really smart idea. God, it's annoying. But yeah, watching like Isaiah Joe and Cason Wallace just can 8 threes between them today, like it's unfair. But then you got AJ Mitchell just orchestrating everything else. Like SGA's having kind of a quiet game. AJ Mitchell goes, "Don't worry, mate. I got this one. Check it out." Bang. Off they go. 24, 4 and 10 for the young fella. What was he? Pick 38? That is just insane, isn't it? He is so good. 2 years ago, pick 38. AJ Mitchell, weapon. Nice. All right, let's do some game previews for tomorrow morning. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Yeah, not bad. Yeah, pulled the pin, got home in a reasonable hour last night. As opposed to Jez, you better go listen to Footy Unfiltrated this week because that's going to be funny as. But we have a really early start tomorrow. We've got the 5:30 a.m. start. New York, Philly, Game 4. This comes after the draft lottery, which I believe is at 3 p.m. their time. Let's have a look. I reckon that's what it is. Pretty sure it was 3 p.m. Eastern. Which, let's find out what that is. 5 a.m. our time. So yes, it'll be on before the game at 5:30. So, who do you want to rank in terms of the karma rankings, right? I think it's pretty obvious that the Indiana Pacers are the one team that would benefit, obviously, the most from having a top 4 pick. It's also funny that if it doesn't land in the top 4, they don't get their pick. So the fact that they've gone with basically a coin flip as to whether or not they keep their pick and change the trajectory of their franchise, or they give that pick to the Clippers is fucking wild. I love it. I kind of like the Pacers getting the pick would be very nice. I think Washington just being able to put that final-ish kind of piece in there, maybe that sort of standalone stuff. Brooklyn, they just need a fucking, like that franchise just needs a savior, right? Whether that be Peterson or DeBanster or whatever, it would be ideal if they could get one of those top 3. The Kings, no fucking chance. They're so hopeless. Like, we can't have the basketball gods help them. Like, help them help themselves, but not by giving them the number 1 pick. Dallas jumping up to put like a super duper awesome, unreal player next to Cooper Flagg would be fucking amazing. I kind of love that. Chicago jumping up would also be hilarious. But come on, can we just, Utah just never jumps up. Right? They always keep moving back. San Antonio, what did they move up like 3 times in like, or was it something like that? Was crazy. And Utah's never moved up, which is brutal. The funniest one is obviously if the Clippers, who have to give that pick to the Thunder, jump all the way up. 100% the funniest outcome. Or the Pelicans jumping all the way up and having to give that one to Atlanta. So, but Atlanta, it's like, you had the Risa Shea pick and like he's just a bit shit. So, I don't know. It's like you had your crack, man. But they made such a good trade that I guess it'd be kind of neat and like pretty good. Like, there you go. That was a smart trade. You now get the number 1 pick. But I think with it being a very, 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 very solid draft, I'm not like crazy flipping out about like how it's all going to end up. Miami, the Terry Rozier situation, Bam having 83 points this year. I don't want to see them get one of these top picks though, so fuck them. Charlotte, that would be pretty funny. Chicago though, I reckon that'd be kind of fun. Milwaukee, that would obviously, they have to give that to, so New Orleans, was Atlanta gets the best of like Milwaukee or, Atlanta gets the best of either the Pelicans or the Bucks, right? So the Bucks are hoping for 2 jumps, which is pretty funny. I think I would really love to see Dallas just turn into like, another just monster there in the West, right? You've got the Spurs, you've got the Thunder. If you could throw another juggernaut in there, it'd be pretty fun. Indy obviously being like rising straight back up to the top, going from the finals to the bottom of the East back to like a contender would be very, very fun. But I think like the sad, hapless franchises like Brooklyn, like Washington, like Utah, if they can get one of those top 4 picks, I think that'd be pretty fucking cool. I'm okay with that. I just don't want Sacramento to get it. The Grizzlies, there's been such a shit show there for like years that it's like, I don't know, man. They do need the talisman, and I don't think that's Ja Morant. But at the same time, bring Ja back. We'll see what happens. Yeah. So I reckon, who do I want to see get it? It's probably Brooklyn, because I think they just need like a face of the franchise. Just full stop. They just need that to have like a sort of familiarity, just an actual dude that people gravitate around. That'd be kind of nice. Utah, I think, just because they've got all these other little bits and bobs, this could be the piece that pushes them over the top. Obviously, the Pacers, I think, are right there. Washington, that just adds another little thing to their, I don't know, it's not a treasure trove, is it? It's a trove of things. They're hoarders, basically. Chicago, Dallas, Golden State jumping up would obviously be the funniest, most rigged one. Atlanta getting a really good player as well would be a very interesting wrinkle, but I don't know. We'll see how we go. All the rest of them, Miami, Charlotte, whatever. So, yeah. We just need to get some of these tankers. Yeah, they tank so egregiously, we shouldn't reward them, but considering this will be the last time they can do this, I think we all benefit when the bottom teams have enough talent to sort of keep pushing up and changing the way things are. Like a team like Chicago, if you look at their roster, it's fucking bereft. They would absolutely benefit from one of those picks. But anyway, so I reckon Brooklyn, Indy, Utah, Washington, Chicago, Dallas are probably my favorites. So there you go. All right, tomorrow's Game 4 is New York, Philly at 5:30 a.m. The Knicks are 1.5 point favorites, ends up sweeping the Sixers. I say the Sixers pull off the 3-1 amazing comeback and get themselves into the series and then lose it in a gentleman's sweep. It feels like the Knicks were sort of playing with them. Like in that second half, it was just like such a gulf. I don't know if they lose a little bit of focus being up 3-0. So I'm going to give Philly one of these, I reckon. Come on, give us one, Philly. Show us what you're made of. 5:30 a.m. tomorrow. We're taking the Sixers plus 1.5. And then San Antonio, Minnesota. Minnesota, eh? The Wolves, Chris Finch versus the Refs. I love this Spurs team a lot. I think I'm going to go the Wolves at home again, though. Plus 4.5. They battled so manfully in Game 3. I think they even up this series. And if they don't, I reckon Spurs might win it in an absolute thriller. And very similar, I guess, to how we saw Game 1 go. So maybe Spurs pull it off. Really, really close one. So I'll take the points because I think, when you have an underdog that you can see winning the actual game, like the Wolves. I did sort of say the other day, look, it felt for me like the Wolves were like kind of running on fumes, a bit of junkiness to it all. And they looked like that in Game 2, obviously, where they got fucking killed. They got straight killed. But then, Game 3, it's just sort of like a bit of a... They didn't quite have it, and the Spurs needed like a really awesome Wemby game. This might be like another leveler, another close one, so I'm going to go the Wolves plus 4.5. So yeah, we're going to go the 2 home underdogs tomorrow. That's fun. I like that. All right, and that's it. All right, Sunday, Mother's Day show done. Thanks to everyone who reached out about 1,400 episodes. It's very cool. I will, look, yeah, I'll have to do something for 1,500. So if someone knows Jock Landale or can get Josh Giddey on the show, give us a shout. That'd be fun. 1,500 episodes would be a pretty fucking epic achievement. Anyway, we'll be back on deck tomorrow to wrap up those 2 game 4s and, of course, all the shenanigans from the draft lottery and all the repercussions, who the winners are, who are the losers. We'll do all that sort of stuff. I love the draft lottery, so I'll be up at 5 a.m. tomorrow watching this. Going to be unreal. Can't wait. So we'll talk to you then. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube, Facey, I said that one. YouTube, TikTok, IG, that's the one I missed. Get around footy unfiltrated. I have a pretty fun story about Jez's night, I reckon, on that one. NFL Straya as well, me and Gaz. Hung out with him last night too. And what else? Jim does Supercoach. Oh, disaster in AFL Supercoach this week, so that'll be a fun show. Anyway, rate, review, star, subscribe across all of your podcast apps with that one. Jump on the YouTube, go check it out, jump in the comments, say good day. You can also support the show, buymeacoffee.com/NBA Australia. Appreciate your guts. Join the Dead Set Legends Club. I love yous. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, iOS, Extra Green, and Dozers. There are the other bands you hear on the show at some point. Smash them all on their music streaming platform of choice, their Bandcamp, whatever. All right, that's it. We'll get out of your hair. We'll catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. This is NBA Australia saying look after yourselves, would ya? And hug your mates. Later, hosen.